hello everyone. It's about that time. This is your amazing new host, Dr. Mischele Watson, and I personally want to welcome you to my new podcast, Let's Just Talk About It, the premier place to keep up to date on some amazing topics and discussions that will encourage you to consider the phenomenal power of change. I hope you enjoy the show, so let's get straight into it. Well, hey everyone, this is Dr. Mischele Watson. So glad that you are joining us today on this edition of Let's Just Talk About It. Ooh, we've got a lot to talk about today. You know, our last couple of episodes have been really thought-provoking around women and marriage and the necessity for us as women to be whole. And, you know, the conversation continues. And I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about something that seems to always be near and dear to my heart, which is women. Why? Because I'm a woman, right? First and foremost. And I'm always thinking about how important it is for us to continue to utilize our voice in so many ways. But before we get started, you know what I like to do here on Let's Just Talk About It? I like to give thanks to an amazing group of people in the background, Kratos Media, that helps to support our podcast. Dr. Ronnie Song with our intro, outro, and just all of you that help to send messages and questions to me that helps to promote our conversations. And so, you know, over the last couple of weeks, we have been through a lot. We've been through a devastating election loss for Kamala Harris. We've been through watching the turmoil that happens with Donald Trump electing an all-white cabinet for his administration, which is of no surprise to us. Come on, don't act like we're surprised, because we ain't surprised. We knew what was stacked there, and so it's of no surprise. You know, elevating unqualified people to his cabinet is also feels like a gut punch, you know, to the stomach, because we, you know, as Black people, as Black women, men, we have worked so hard to get to positions in our careers, and we are often understand that people refuse to validate us for what we bring to the table. And you know, I am an expert in diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. And so to see the anguish that has happened around conversations around DEI, how equity is now seen as a cuss word. You know, I can come up with a couple of other cuss words that are more fitting, and equity is not one of them. But I know we will continue to fight. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to encourage your hearts to continue standing strong. I know at many junctures of the last few weeks, we have felt overwhelmed. We have felt we've had enough, right? We are often found ourselves supporting other people. And when we, as a community, need to support, we don't have it. And I know all of those things one would think would be stacked against us. But you know, we are a people that are extremely resilient. And I want to encourage you in this conversation about resiliency, about determination, about staying focused on the cause, because there are going to be many things that come against us. And this is not the first. And as we realize that while Donald Trump may be in office for the next 4 years, and I say maybe loosely, for a number of reasons, we still have to continue to put our best foot forward in ensuring that we are voting in people that bring about measurable and sustainable change. So I want to read this quote to you. You know, I like to share these affirmations with you. And they're my affirmations that I have from my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And I read these affirmations and I want to share this one with you. And it says, I choose to focus on solutions rather than problems, cultivating a positive and proactive approach to challenges, which speaks significantly to my, book that I am working to publish in 2025. How to be changed beyond the challenge, the inconveniences of a new season. And so, with that said, I want us to know that while this season may, in fact, be a challenge for many of us, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We've got mid-year elections that are coming up. We've got new federal judges that are now being assigned to courts, and we can't let up. We've got to continue to stay engaged. And while at times we feel like we don't want to have another moment in this, and while we want to just support our community, I understand that, and I understand the value add that brings, and I too will support my community. I am going to, work to purchase from Black-owned business owners. I'm going to work to be cognizant to, read book materials that talk about our history. I'm going to ensure that I am doing a lot of different things. I'm going to be stepping out, speaking more publicly about issues that impact our community, that impact us as women. And women, I want to encourage you, right? Because as much as people will want to tear us down, we have the capacity to build each other up. And I need us to stay focused on that. I need us to stay focused on building one another up, right? Because it's one thing when someone else comes for you, but it's another thing when our own people come for us. And we've got to learn to be able to separate what makes the difference. And so I want to encourage you, strong, Black, educated, phenomenal women that may be listening to this episode of Let's Just Talk About It, right? To remember whose you are, remember what you have fought so hard to have in your life, and continue to build on that each and every day. And oftentimes I find myself struggling sometimes because my plate is never empty of the many things that I have to do in my life. But I find space in my life to remember how important my voice is in this day and age, how important my voice is to my daughters, how important my voice is to my granddaughter, how important my voice is to my grandson and my son. It is so important that we not lose the evidence and the essence of why we are here and what we're doing. So ladies, I'm going to need you to stand up. I'm going to need you to stand strong. I'm going to need you to stand confident, because we've got work to do. And while many might be trying to block that glass ceiling for us, and you know who I mean, we are still ready to shatter it. And we will. We will shatter the glass ceiling no matter how many times someone tries to block us from doing it. So be encouraged to fight the good fight of faith. Be encouraged to put the action behind your words. Be encouraged to stand strong and stand victorious and making sure that your voice is a place in our society today that will not be dimmed. There is a light in your life. There is a light for us to do amazing things, and keep pressing in your education. Keep pressing in your career goals. Keep pressing and starting new businesses. Keep pressing on speaking into the lives of your children and the lives of your family. You are an asset. You are an ally. Even more, you are a great accomplice, because accomplices hold you down. Accomplices go with you to the end. Accomplices say we ride at dawn. Yes, indeed. Don't get me to preaching over here. And so I'm excited about this conversation that we will continue to have. And I hope that you are enjoying this brief session of Let's Just Talk About It. You know, over the months, we will continue to expand on our podcast, There is an amazing vision behind the work that God has called me to do here. And I'm excited to play a very instrumental role in what that will look like in the coming months. So get ready. You're going to see some changes in our conversation, in our podcast. You're going to be seeing a whole lot that we hope will engage you in the conversation. So thank you again for joining us. Make sure you find us on YouTube. Let's just talk about it with Dr. K. Mischele Watson, and share, share, share. Be blessed and highly favored of the Lord. Well, everyone, that's all we got time for right now, but we'll keep the conversations moving and topics flowing. Join us for a new episode every Sunday at 8 p.m. for Let's Just Talk About It. Don't miss it, and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. We'll always have a little something for you if you do. I'm your host, Dr. K. Mischele Watson, and I'll see you on our next episode. Be blessed.